What is up, everybody? It's your boy Doody, back again with another video, and it's that time of the week, folks, where we do our weekly recap of the lowlights of DSP Gaming and his subsidiary channels. That's right, DSP Reacts and DSP Throwback. And this week we had a lot to choose from. Your boy Doody was struggling. Many minor arcs. A lot of them were minor arcs, so I decided really just to focus on the main points, kind of the overarching arc for DSP Gaming for the week. And yeah, so let's start off. The first one started very early when our boy Phil came back from his day off, and of course it was during the Street Fighter streams, and our boy Phil was kind of upset that the Cammy army was beating him to a pulp. That's right. And the one leading the charge, of course, was BukTooth. But it wasn't actually the real BukTooth, and it triggered our boy Phil. So let's get into the first video here. This is a Street Fighter Cope, aka BukTooth edition. Big ups to Raw Phil.
I need to get some points. And by the way, Dab Hands, no, that was not a real pro player that I was playing last time. That's a troll who keeps changing their account around, and they were purposely losing points so that they could get to my level and basically gatekeep me from hitting Master with Zangief. They already talked about it online. It's a fucking idiot. That's why I blocked them last time. And I'll continue to do that because that's what's happening. My trolls realize that I cannot beat Cammy with Zangief, so they all have picked Cammy, mastered a flowchart, and they're actually jumping into rank the same time as me. And they're changing their names around so I don't know it's them. And then they're just basically playing me over and over. That Cammy from last time used the name of a pro player that I'm friendly with, BukTooth. I used to be friends with BukTooth back in the day. He's from the Texas area, and we used to have great times together in the 2000s playing retro games and stuff. And actually, if you remember, the first time I hit Master with Blanca last year, he was the first opponent I faced at Master level, and it was the real BukTooth. This guy is an asshole. This guy is a liar. He was not a real pro player. This is someone impersonating others in order to try to get clout, basically. And if you didn't notice, they're beating me and getting tons of ranking points, but then all of a sudden they'd be back and they have less ranking points because they were going and throwing matches so that they could lower their rank to fight me again and again. So, pretty messed up, but I already banned that person, and I'll continue to do that. If I see it's the same person over and over purposefully trying to matchmake with me, I'm just going to block them so I don't have to deal with their bullshit. That way I can play a variety of players and not these fucking trolls headhunting me with bullshit unbalanced top tiers.
That's right. The Cope and the Saw for Street Fighter. And the Street Fighter Cope was off the charts this week. I think Phil played 3 or 4 times Street Fighter, and every single time it was just fucking delicious with our boy Phil losing his shit. And it started, of course, on Friday with the Street Fighter Cope of BukTooth. By the way, big ups to Raw Phil. If you don't know who Raw Phil is a streamer. He streams Phil's content. If you're not subbed to him, give him a sub. If you don't want to watch, say, Phil and give him a view, check out Raw Phil. He's on every single day. It's some good quality content. And big ups for him. He plays Street Fighter, and whenever Phil's fighting, very similar piece, he goes in and trolls Phil and whips the crap out of him. It's so fucking funny. I think he played him Friday like 4 times and beat him 4 times easily. It was great. So definitely check out those Street Fighter vids. The Street Fighter vids typically Raw Phil and Piece are usually out there fighting Phil and a host of other people that troll Phil. All right, so the next story here, of course, is WWE Champions. That's right, our boy Phil came back with a fury, and man, he wailed out. Apparently, there was this competition for the King of the Ring or something, and you needed to be in first place. And our boy Phil came in full force and wasted $2,100 in tip money on WWE Champions. It's just fucking pathetic. It's pathetic, Phil. And big ups to TJ Gamebox for reporting it out. Apparently, I think that event is over, but there's something else going on. And Phil's been playing that this week as well. So expect another report either this weekend about Phil spending yet again more on WWE Champions, probably $7,000 to $1,000. That seems to be his pattern. Whenever he wails out like this and he comes back like the week later, he'll spend about $7,000 to $1,000. So expect that to come out. But yeah, it's been a little bit since we reported anything out on the WWE Champions front. Being that about 2 weeks ago, Phil did whale out, but it was so difficult to calculate because he was playing multiple events. So, like again, I put an asterisk there, and I didn't put a total, but we know it's higher than what he's currently spent. I think he's at what, $17,000 now. He's higher than that. He's probably around $18,000 in WWE Champions. So good job, Phil. Oh, and the best part about this all was that the tournament he was in required you to be in first place, and he was in first place for much of the tournament. But then, very low and behold, the money buff ran out. Our boy Phil had no more money, and the pie guy actually, who was in third place, took Phil, and Phil ended up being in second place. So he didn't get that coveted number one spot. I know that must have bothered Phil a great deal. So our next story here, of course, is the milking of John and Howard. That's right. Our boy Phil is trying to push that throwback channel and wants to do a retrospective react to his playthrough that he did with John and Howard, Super Mario Brothers. The interesting thing here is that he let on that whenever he's depressed or sad, he watches this stream to make him feel better. So it sounds like our boy Phil is sad and missing John and Howard, especially John. And whenever he feels sad, he goes back and looks at old videos of him and his old boyfriend.
Nice thing to do, because I have some now for the month. And the big thing, I posted up the poll for the 4 games now in the running for the next Retro React project on DSP Throwback. Here are your choices. Number 1, continuing Dark Souls, the original run. Remember, I got up to the Taurus Demon. We'll continue from there and move on. Number 2, Metal Gear Solid 1, the original run on PS1, where I know for a fact I sucked at the game, probably cussed at Hideo Kojima constantly, and it definitely is a throwback to my old style of content. Number 3, God of War 3, one of my oldest, most storied playthroughs from back in the day. One of the first major AAA games that I played from start to finish on my original channel. And last but not least, a playthrough that personally has meaning for me. It is such a positive, fun playthrough. This is one that I literally go back to and watch myself when I need to cheer myself up from time to time. Mario and Sonic at the 2012 London Olympics, co-op between myself, John Rambo, and Joe. Amazing playthrough with tons of comedy. So, if you have...
Oh, how sweet. That's right. Whenever our boy Phil feels sad and depressed, which is probably every single fucking day, he puts on a playthrough with his boyfriend John and Howard, and it makes him feel oh so better. I guess it makes him feel better or not as upset that his current roommate and that relationship is a hot fucking mess. But yeah, I found it to be kind of sad and depressing hearing Phil say this. But yeah, again, he's trying to milk John and Howard. He's trying to milk that old content for revenue. He's trying to milk it for super chats or memberships or whatever. And yeah, I mean, definitely won't give a cent to Howard or John. I mean, of course he deems as, oh, I already paid them, which he never did pay them. He may have paid John a whatever $100 stipend every time he came in or every weekend or whatever. But yeah, they see no residuals or anything for this, and you know Phil won't give them shit. And that was partly the reason why they are no longer friends with our boy Phil. But anyway, yeah, he put this out there and he put the poll out, and I think it ended up being in last place. No one gave a shit. No one gives a shit about your glory days, Phil. Phil thinks people care about his glory days. They care about his Street Fighter days. They care about his relationship with John. No one gives a fuck, Phil, really. And you make it seem like this is so awesome and momentous, and I'm gonna do a special thing for you, Dents, y'all. I'm gonna react to it. And it ended up being in 4th place. I think he got like 12% of the vote. What ended up winning was the Dark Souls playthrough. So, yeah, try again, Phil. Try again. Our next story here, folks, is, of course, our boy Phil said it again. He said it again. Reeeeeeeeeeeeee!
Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on Ree. Fool me the 772nd time in 10 years where a PC port of a game is terrible. Why are you still playing on PC? You know?
Ah, yeah, that's right. Ree Part 2. The Ree came back. I haven't heard him say Ree in a long time. And I thought it was very funny, especially with the old original one where our boy Phil said, I'm the one! Which is actually part of the Dark Side Darcy the Flow song, My Bills, which you know your boy Doody rocks out in his intro. So I thought it was very funny. I actually posted this on Twitter, and I got a lot of people laughing, and they were shocked and surprised that Phil would actually say "re" again. So that was a momentous event. Again, this was more of a side arc, a side story arc, but I thought it was hilarious. And when I heard it, I had to rewind it several times to make sure my old ears weren't playing games on me. And lo and behold, nope, he said "re." Alrighty, the next story here, of course, is DSP attacking your boy Doody all over again. You guys know for the last several weeks, our boy Phil has been seething and coping about your boy Doody and how he thinks that Doody is working with the detractors and with the other detractors and plotting some ops against him, mainly the chargebacks and the Argentinian detractors. And he decided that he wanted to attack your boy Doody during the stream in chat, and we have that, so let's play it.
Jordan, thank you for the membership as well. Joining the channel. Thank you, thank you. Guys, you know the deal when it comes to my other channels outside of DSP Gaming. Essentially, I don't really make much on these channels because they don't have a lot of viewership. This channel particularly is mostly for posterity purposes to get my older playthroughs up on the internet somewhere. For example, Red Dead Redemption was not on the internet anywhere. It's finally up. Final Fantasy 13 is about to conclude. And get this, listen to this. Exactly 13 years after the original playthrough was uploaded, LA Noire begins this week on May 17th, as long as we don't run into any issues. And it's exactly going to be posted 13 years to the day that the game came out. The exact day.
Yeah, Phil, no one gives a shit. But I wanted to highlight this because he was talking trash about me in his chat, saying that I'm the Argentinian detractors bitch. Because apparently he was slammed that day with the Argentinian detractors. He ended up getting 250 member bombs. And yeah, it kind of destroyed his membership plan for that channel. He doesn't offer shit anyway, so it's not like, what did they get? Emotes and a crown badge or whatever the hell he offers? So yeah, him trying to milk the throwback channel for memberships isn't happening, folks. He got hit with 100 that day, and I think the week before he ended up getting hit with like 200 of them. So pretty much most people that won a membership got a free membership. So I guess be happy with the 10 or 12 dents that are actually paying full price for it. But yeah, again, he decided to talk shit about me and bring me up in conversation. And let's not forget the whole Argentinian detractor nonsense where, you know, he read a fake email from a LARPer thinking it was real. And in the email specifically, it talked about me and what I was doing. And he read it like a fucking moron. And he keeps talking about it. And he's talking about it again. And he mentions me again. He won't mention me by name because he's a punk bitch. But he'll bring me up in conversation. So the next story here, of course, is the Chargeback Arc.
Waffins, I really hope that you're legit. And the reason I say that, please understand that I'm not ungrateful. But I have to be skeptical because there's a few people, you're one of them, who recently have just mysteriously started coming by my streams and doing these contributions. And I don't really know you that well. You just kind of started joining, right? And I appreciate it because I know you became a member and you've done super chats as well. And now you're doing these tips. I really appreciate it. But I just hope that it's real. And I just want to bring up with everyone that already trolls have come out and admitted that over the last month, they have organized an effort to give me tips, and then basically they're going to all charge them back later in the month. That's what they're saying. They're going to try to, at the end of this month, hit me with a ton of chargebacks, which of course would really screw up my business, and I can't stop that. I would have to argue and dispute them all. I just hope that, you know, you get a few new people. There was Waffins. There's also this Thorax, the plumber, who came by last month with a, or last night actually, with a super generous tip. And it's like, I just hope that these are legit. And the fact that Waffins already did other contributions makes me feel a little bit better about it. So thank you, Waffins, for that. I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt. I really appreciate it.
Okay, yeah, this is Waffles. I'm calling him Waffles. Waffles, the new dent that's been wailing out for Phil. And Phil is super paranoid, thinking that the Chargeback saga will hit him yet again. And if it does, he's going to be in for at least $1,000. At least. But of course, your boy gets his information from a fake email from a LARPer, which mentioned my name in it. And I'm guessing he feels like I'm the one that's actually going to be coordinating this, and I'm not. I talk to you guys, I'm not. I just get information and I share it. There's no secret. There's no whatchamacallit. I'm going in. I get information. I ask if I can share it. They say yes, and I just share that information. He would think that if I were doing something or coordinating something, that I would keep it a secret, that I'd be smart enough to keep it a secret, not just come out here and just state the intentions. But again, Phil's a fucking moron. And anything to make the detractors the boogeymen. That's what he needs. He needs a villain. Phil plays way too much WWE Champions. He does. And he watches too many wrestling. Because he thinks his life is a fucking wrestling match, which is pretty pathetic. So with any good wrestling match or arc, you need a good villain. So Phil's decided he wants to make Doody his enemy, his opponent. You know, I guess I'll be the Iron Sheik to his Hulk Hogan. Who the fuck knows? Anyway, that's the week, folks. It could have been a lot longer, but I tried to cut it back. I think my last two videos were over 30 minutes. So I'm trying to cut it back to 16. I'll try to limit some of the minor story arcs and just kind of focus on the heavy hitters. But yeah, this week was kind of fun. Let's see what next week brings us. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Peace out.